Leo, are you ready to receive a long distance call this month? From where? From who? From Spirit. This month, have your celestial cell phone on hand. Have yourself totally tuned in and ready to receive the message when it comes. Because Spirit, as I said, is making a long distance call across time, space and dimension. To do what? To give you a message that somehow releases you finally from some long karmic sadness or from some long karmic duty that you had to perform, to act out. And this is that moment where you get the signal, the sign, the message from the cosmos that you no longer have to perform and act out a certain karma anymore. That debt is paid. It is over. You are no longer expected to be the lion in the circus jumping for applause, but instead you have a new mission. You have a new place to go, and it is going to be bright. So Leo, why is all of this happening in an extremely psychic month for you, an extremely powerfully spiritual month for you, where you are very open, your antennae are out, sort of feeling out the vibes of the universe? Well, look, let's find out what's going on as we do our usual thing, my love. We're going to shuffle the cards, wait on all the right ones to come out for you, and in the meantime we'll talk about these energies. So we have a lot of retrograde energy this month. We still have Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, Mercury is going retrograde this month, and so is Neptune. Now Venus is going direct, but it's a very heavy energy again this month about a lot of internal work, a lot of digging really deep and cleaning out the big closet, the karmic closet for you, cleaning out the karmic closet. And it's like you're getting the instruction now across the celestial airwaves that cleanup or that clean out is now done. You've no more karmic debt to pay. Why? Because we have eclipse season this month. We have the big lunar eclipse on June 5th happening for you in your 5th house. Now, 5th house is very often a place where we create something to glorify ourselves. We create personalities at times here in the 5th house in order to stand out and shine. Now, the 5th house is a very Leo house, so we shine, we push ahead, we want to be seen in a good light, we want to be always at the crest of the wave, we want to be where the party's at, and we want to bring our brilliance to it, our intelligence, our personality, our gifts, our talents, and having the right platform for us personally to benefit from shining in that way. But something is changing. As I said in the intro, you have felt for the longest time that you are like the performing lion or lioness in the circus, that every time you had to shine, there was an element of, I got to do this right, I got to do it to please, or not just to please people, because that's what's changing, but I've got to do it for people to see where I'm coming from, to get me. If I shine bright, then I can get ahead. It was like a huge pressure, Leo, to be brilliant. And then at times feeling overwhelmed by that, destroyed by it, and feeling like, am I really just a circus act here? Am I really just a circus act where there's the ringmaster kind of whipping me into shape and telling me do this, do that? In order for people to be pleased by your performance, you must perform as I say or as I do. You must study this. You must get top grades. You must get in that line of work. You must always have everybody feeling pleased by your performance. And my love, this is where you are getting that big divine message of you've done it. You've done it. In fact, there's a strange moment here where you're suddenly realizing that you've been really like the ringmaster with the whip. You have been somehow whipped into shape by feeling so lost in a brilliant personality. How can I have this big Leo personality that's able to do everything and please lots of other people, and yet inside at times I just don't feel like I'm up to scratch. Everyone's pleased with me except me. Everybody's happy with what I'm doing except me, but I dutifully and carefully and with a great sense of humility and with a great sense of serving something greater than me, I did it. That's what's really nice. And in fact, this is just something I'm feeling here now. I didn't even feel this when I was tuning into your energy before the video. It's an acknowledgement going on here, Leo, this month of how you very dutifully performed to make everything right. You were very dutiful maybe to your parents, to your family. You were very dutiful to society, very dutiful to your work, to your boss, consistent, reliable, very dutiful in keeping up a good appearance, very dutiful and very good at it. And yet it's almost like the cosmos is coming in to say, You've handled that very well, Leo. You handled it well because none of your achievements were really ever your own. Now, this is weird because I'm feeling a kind of a paradox here. Everybody always thought that you were pushing ahead for your achievement to please you. I'm getting into the right marriage, raising my children right. Everyone said, look at Leo, they're doing anything and everything to make themselves look good. And you're screaming on the inside saying, this is not for me. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this because somehow I feel that this is what I've been asked to do. I am performing. And Leo, I'm sorry because I'm really feeling that with you. I'm feeling such a wonderful release, a wonderful breakthrough moment. I haven't even bloody touched the cards, but forget that for a second. It's this release that you are no longer obliged to perform in order for the cosmos to be appreciative of you. You know, the kid who strives to get A grades so that their parents will be pleased. It's like, that's done with. It's over, Leo. You're free. And with the lunar eclipse in the 5th house, in comes a new, almost like a reason to shape your personality. 5th house has a lot to do with, as I said, the personality that you push out there and shine. It's like you've a new personality, a new reason to shine. And the new reason to shine seems to now be based on something far deeper. Oh, Leo, there's something very strong spiritually happening for you. Very, 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 very strong. Now I'm finally free to just be lost in what I want to do. Now I'm finally free to just drift, to not be the performing lion or lioness in the circus. Now I'm free to explore my spirituality. Now I'm free to explore a spiritual path that's not so much out there. It's almost like part of your spiritual evolution was to be the Leo that's out there. And then over the longest period of time, you were kept in isolation. We talked about that last month, and I'm not talking about quarantine. I'm talking about the recluse, a hermit, pulling back from people. I get it now, Leo. That was the beginning of you coming away from the spotlight in order to regroup and get reconnected with spirit and reconnected with your deep passions, your deep loves, the deep spirituality of who you are. And when that's cooked, when that's ready, and it won't be ready this month, you're still working on it, and that needs time, of course. But when that's ready, a new personality emerges that you'll be almost unrecognizable, Leo. But when the new personality emerges, it is really in tune with the cosmos. It is really serving some greater good. It is really spiritual. That's what I feel, but real spiritual, not fake spiritual, real spiritual, real compassion, real feeling, really being plugged into the universe and the cosmos, really understanding the motivations of people, understanding their needs, your psychic abilities are just going to be off the frickin' charts, Leo. And yet, feeling like, well, that's okay. Just because now I have this huge psychic ability doesn't mean that I have to become, psychic Leo, I just have to use it for something that is good, something that makes sense, something that is part of not just my evolution, but everybody else's evolution too. Oh, Leo, okay, so we've spent 10 minutes talking about that, and I really wasn't expecting that shift. It is, I am going from being this performing fool for everybody else. It's over. It's done. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of pleasing everybody. And I am switching this around and becoming such a powerful new presence in my life, which is deep. Now, this might sound very weird, Leo, but old energy, like an old soul being brought out in you. This is the side of me that nobody got to see, that real deep wisdom, that wise old soul. And I am going to really burn with this now. I am really going to help, support, care, nurture, love, understand, be compassionate. It's almost, Leo, like a feeling of, I now understand what the Leo character is all about. Now, you're born a Leo, maybe you have sun, moon or ascendant, but it's like now I get, I've kind of broken the code. I understand what it is I'm supposed to do or why I am a Leo. Okay, Leo. That's a huge energy, and we've spent quite a bit of time talking about that. Let's get some cards going on here. There's a release from an old karma, and look at the first card that comes out, the sun. Before your birthday, you are getting ready to start over again with this new personality. You're ditching the old personality, and a fiercer, deeply loving, deeply connected, freer personality is coming. This is huge. This is huge. Huge, Leo. Huge. By the way, for those who don't know, this is the Leo card. Just to say that the sun, your ruler, the Leo card. Sun and happiness and success. Sun, happiness and success, but all coming from a very different space. You're approaching your success now in an entirely different way. You're approaching your life in an entirely different way. But it's all leading to success. This is the weird thing. My new, more authentic, deeply caring personality, original, coming from some light source deep within me, is the key to my success. Wow, the pressure even I'm feeling here, it's a huge psychic download for you. First two cards, the Hierophant, the Hierophant, whichever way you want to pronounce it. This is your new law. This is your new rule. This is your new passion. This is your new mission. Because this is a Taurus card. Taurus for you is 10th house energy. A mission to put out there in the world. Leo, you seem to be on a new mission. And look at this, the moon coming out, the sun and the moon. The new moon in Cancer, it's a solar eclipse. So of course this is going to affect you being ruled by the sun. The solar eclipse on June 21st in Cancer. And then of course the sun, your ruler, is going to be in Cancer. Sun, moon energy. A change of your personality through a deep emotional transformation. I also feel forgiveness. You forgiving the cosmos for making you jump through so many hoops in your life. You just forgiving it. I also get a feeling many of you are getting messages from those people who have passed on to the next part of their journey. They could be family members gone on to the next part of their journey who are really calling you, and some of them even asking for your forgiveness, Leo. It's like, can I apologize for the way I treated you? Can I apologize that I didn't recognize the good heart in you? Can I apologize for trampling all over your kindness? There's a feeling of certainly spirit, somebody in the next part of their journey coming back with a great sense of love, but them saying the last karma I also have to complete is coming back to apologize to you. Leo, I'm getting emotional here because it's a huge wave of love, cosmic love, and a huge sense of love coming from spirit for you. It's like you are breaking karma with somebody who's in the next part of their journey. Whoever it is, a parent, a family member, a friend, an old lover or somebody, there's a feeling of they are coming back with a huge love, and asking for forgiveness and saying, this was part, we didn't know it at the time, but this was part of our karmic deal. We had to be this way with each other. But now that I understand how it works, I must come back to you and make it easier for you, make it lighter for you, apologize to you, because it's not just you, but I'm also severing a karmic burden that I had. A feeling of, I never meant to hurt you. It wasn't me. It was the karma. Okay, so we're going down some very strong roots here, Leo, that I wasn't expecting at all. Let me get some more of these cards. Communication, but hidden communication. So it's very, very private. And there's a big emotional turnaround for you where you're ready to move on after hearing some spiritual message. I'm absolutely ready to end something. I'm ready to move on into my destiny. I get it. I just keep hearing this thing. It's almost like an absolute understanding of, I know why I had to live like that. I know why I had to experience that. I know why that relationship had to be that way. I know why I had to end certain relationships. I know why things had been weird. It's like I get the game of it now. And now I'm ready to evolve. I'm ready to level up. I'm absolutely ready to level up. And this is success. This is the weird moment. It's a successful moment, but it's also like a blessing, a blessed release from something, a blessed release from karma, from burden, a blessed release from being the lion or the lioness who always has to perform for everybody. It's a blessing. And it's bringing back it's not just your sunshine, Leo, but it's like a celestial, cosmic, hidden sun shining through you. Okay, I know sometimes the readings get like this, especially around lunar eclipses, but I'm sorry, Leo, if I'm kind of going a bit weird on this, but I feel that, and that's always my promise to you, I will always give the energy that I feel, as weird as it might be sometimes. You are now emotionally invested in creating a new and unique personality that belongs to you. It's like the personality before didn't belong to you. It belonged to pleasing everybody else. Your style might change. Your taste for food, taste for music, your daily habits might even change because you're getting more into a groove that suits you better. You're veering more towards the spiritual. Maybe even thinking of, surrounding yourself, your identity, your clothes, your decor, everything like that is now all about something more real, more spiritual, being interested in even tribal spirituality or old styles like antiques. My house is very modern and I love it, but do you know what? I need to bring something old into my house that gives me this great sense of being connected to the past. Some of you might be, if you have an heirloom, like something that belonged to family, it could be a small item or quite a large item, like a wardrobe or something like that. It's almost like, no, bring this out and make it center stage. Put it on display. Because now I don't have to run away from the past anymore. I now cherish it and honor it. Now I'm honoring the past like I could never do before. Honoring ancestors. Honoring, okay, there, Leo, there is really something huge going on with you on a very deeply psychic level. Something huge. A deep forgiveness that sets you free. And excuse me, in this time of quarantine and lockdown, it seems like this was a kind of perfect moment in some ways for you. Okay, I know there are pressures, I know that, but just set that aside just for a moment. But there was great creativity in all of this quarantine and lockdown. The isolation brought creativity to you, and it forced you to ask questions about this feeling of, why do I feel so lost? Now, this is another unusual thing. I feel so many of you getting back in touch with your creativity, and the theme of what was lost is part of your new creativity. So say you create something with your hands. Now there's a kind of, I'm bringing a vintage touch into this, or an old touch, or a spiritual touch. The thing that was missing from this creativity is the feeling of including what was lost. If you say, for example, write poetry or write music, the themes would be around, I once was lost, but now I'm found, like Amazing Grace. It was like, I was lost. The theme around lost and found for all things that you're creating, and bringing the old back in. Leo, I am so sorry for those of you who don't know how I do my readings. You're probably saying, what the hell is this bitch on? What is she talking about? But I really feel it. It is recovering, the salvaging. Some of you might get interested in salvaging things, reworking old items, repairing them to make them new again. Because the old things are being made new again. You are being made new again. Wow, 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 wow. Also, just on a super literal level, with the lunar eclipse in the 5th house, some of you are tired of bad romance. That's also changing. I don't want to attract that anymore in my life. I need to understand what real love is, and real romance is, and real generous feelings towards another soul is. I don't want to be just the one always giving in relationships, spoiling my love. I need some of that back. I must understand how that dynamic works. I had lost that whole feeling of what it feels to be adored and loved in a true and honest way. Okay, so that's coming back. For those of you with children, there's a feeling of ditching a certain style of raising your children and being more connected with them on a very meaningful level. And that's just gorgeous. Leo, I feel many of you needing time alone this month to think about certain things, but also to process what's being changed and transformed for you this month. It is hugely positive. I'm sorry, I'm absolutely following a thread because that's what I do, Leo. But I'm telling you, these changes are bringing success. However, as you're changing, it might annoy certain people. I need to tell you that. In, say, the mid-month, second half of the month, certain people might be annoyed. Why are you changing? Why are you changing your behavior? Why are you changing your attitude? Why are you changing so much? And your answer to that is, but why would you want me not to change? Why would you want me to stay unhappy? Why would you want me not to experience a true happiness in my life? Why are you happy when I'm sad? So there's so much, Leo. Okay, let's get one last card here and then we're ready to go. And I have to start tuning out of your energy just for a little moment because it's intense, 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 intense. So, my love, enough now with that. Let's get over to your big grand, ta-da, your overview. So the sun wants to shine through you in a deep and meaningful way. Your personality, as I said, is changing. Your whole beliefs are changing. There is a spiritual message coming your way, as we talked about, that changes your perspective on everything. It's almost like my personality is changing because I understand now what my soul needs to do. And this is my new law. This is my new direction. And this is a real meaningful path towards my success. I am free. I am free. I am free. And I've received some hidden message that helps me free it. And for me, Leo, I think the hidden message is a request of forgiveness from somebody. Now, it could be somebody on this 3D plane asking you for forgiveness, which will be lovely for you. But it's a hidden thing. It's like privately. Let's do this privately. Let's talk about this just one-to-one. You know, and there's a feeling of being shy or being reserved or being very, very humble. Somebody humbly asking your forgiveness. And even if they don't come right out with it, there's a sense of, I know what they're doing. They are sincerely sorry. I sense it in them. I feel it in them. Let's work a little bit on this, okay? But then the spirit energy is just, oh, Leo, it is just so, so strong. So strong of, I wish you would understand that I was who I was because it was part of what I had to do. I had to burn certain karma. I had to learn certain lessons. And I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. For some of you, I'm so sorry I was so distant from you. I was so sorry that even if I was there with you, that I wasn't really emotionally there for you. I'm so sorry that you never felt I understood you. I'm so sorry that I always kept you at somewhat arm's length, or I went away from you. I'm so sorry. So it's both. It's a real person here in this world making some sort of an apology to you. It could be a very bad effort at an apology or a very sincere one, but one way or another, it feels in their soul they are sincerely sorry. And then, of course, spirit. But it's all very private. It's all very hidden. It's all very, you must see this with your intuition or hear this in order to let that karma pass. I feel for many of you, it could even be an old love coming your way and apologizing. I am so sorry for the way I behaved. Some of them saying, I'm sorry I left you. I'm sorry I left you high and dry. In some cases, I'm sorry I left you raising a child on your own. Or I'm sorry in some cases that I didn't give you access to children. So there's some very profound, sincere apology. As I said, it could come in a very awkward way. Maybe this person is crap at real-time apologies, but the feeling seems to be there and it seems to be sincere. And this gives you just that opportunity to totally move on. I am moving on. I'm moving on and starting everything in an entirely new way. This is an Aquarius card and this is a Gemini card. North Node of Destiny in Gemini, your 11th house of success. I now feel I can make a success of everything in my life because I've really changed and moved on. Forgiveness from an ex seems to be very important. Or forgiveness from a bad relationship you had with somebody you loved or cared for. Once that's done, once that's over, it's like that's the end of the karma. And I can begin again. Now, this is a moon in Cancer card. We do have the new moon on June 21st in Cancer, in your 12th house. And again, the feeling here of, I have been way too long feeling very unloved and very unnurtured, and not really trusting that the universe is going to supply me with everything I need. It didn't make me hard, but it always made me sad. It didn't make me tough necessarily on the outside, but just, I always carried a sense of real disappointment. Like and even this is kind of making me a bit sad here, Leo, again. It's that feeling of, I've done everything right. I've done everything right. Why did things always work out weird for me? I did everything right. Was I not good? Was I not a decent person? Why did I have to endure certain things in my life? I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's right. And I feel a certain disappointment or anger between you and spirit, you and the cosmos, but also between you and people who are gone on to the next part of their journey, and even people here. It's like, I'm so upset with you. And yet what makes me also sad here, Leo, is the feeling of, I'm not even angry with them. I'm just sad. I don't want anything. I just don't understand why I had to experience these things. And it would make me really happy if I could just move on and feel like that doesn't have to be a thing in my life anymore. But Leo, it will. You will this month. Talk about moving on. It's like being fired up and raring to go. Really ready to move on. And full of fire, full of the warmth. There's a feeling of warmth here. There's a feeling of, I know why something had to happen a certain way, and now I'm able to smile from the inside about that. Okay. Now, Leo, towards the end of the month, I see that you have to make some sort of decision about something in your life, that you know this decision, whatever way you do it, whatever way you handle it, is going to cause conflict. It's going to be worrying for you to maybe implement this new change or this new decision that you're making. It's going to be a bit stressful, but it's also the feeling of worrying about how other people are going to react to this new decision. Are they going to meet me with, oh, I hate this idea. I hate what you're doing. I hate it. But there's a feeling of, no, Leo, don't fear the change. Make a clear, clean decision and put a lot of force into doing it. If you're met with any type of resistance, don't back down. Just keep going with it. If it feels right to you, keep going and push through it. And as I said a few moments ago, if somebody says to you, why do you want to change things up? Why are you changing? Why would you want to do that? Again, the answer is, but why would you want me to stay the same when it's not making me happy? I want to get back stuck into my life again. I want to get into new directions. I want to move towards my success. I want to make myself happy. And I'd much rather that you supported me in this rather than criticized me for it. But Leo, it's a tower moment, a tower moment. This represents all the fake structures. This represents all the things that you're not supposed to do. This represents locking yourself in and feeling very constricted or restricted by a kind of a fake version of what your spirit wants to do. That's very hard to explain. It's like, say you had a spiritual calling to work in the healing arts or the medical field, or so there's a vocation in that. It's like, I feel I want to help people. But yet what's happened is that you're doing it in a way that you hate. I really want to help people, but in the way I'm doing it, I'm not actually really helping anybody. I'm maybe taking a paycheck and I'm not really making any great difference. And it's like the thing you feel you love to do, that's your purpose, if it's not being done right, this is the moment where you break it all down and say, that's not how I foresaw this. You know, this is not how I wanted this to play out. I wanted to go into this arena. I wanted to become an artist, a musician. I wanted to become an architect, an engineer, a healer, a therapist. I wanted to become an actor. So whatever it is, Leo, a financial advisor, a big property developer. I wanted to become all of those things. But what I don't like is how I'm doing it now. This was not how I envisioned it. And there's something in you that's saying, Leo, you know what you need to do. You need to go back to square one and bring back your passion to do the thing that gives you real purpose, but in a very authentic way. You're changing so much, Leo. So much. And you're going to be communicating now and working in a way that makes people turn heads. It's almost like if I change this, this is the opposite of moving in a successful direction. And that's what you're thinking, but it's not. Changing it and becoming more authentic to what your soul wants to express is actually leading you to a new skill, a new way of communicating something that has serious meaning for you. Okay, Leo, I'm tuning into the energy, and it's very big energy, so I'm sorry if I'm not tuned in as much. Well, I am tuned in, but I'm probably not explaining it as well as I could. You'll get noticed more and recognized more for your wonderful gifts if you're handling it in a way that's very sincere and true to you. It's very hard to explain, Leo, but I think you'll feel it. Something is radically changing. It begins this month, and it's coming tumbling down in order for you to begin again. In such a meaningful way. Leo, your life is about to find two things: an entirely new expression of your personality on a hugely deep level, which in turn leads you towards success and blessing. So Leo, I have to leave it at that, because I actually have to come away from your energy a little bit, because you're obviously ready for it, but it's very, 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 very strong. So my love, I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to leave it at that. Now, you do know, to get into the actual details, there's the extended version of this reading. We'll go on over to VIMEO, to the deep read, and we'll continue with this reading with the themes and topics of relationships. What's going on there for the singles? Are you transforming the way you love, the style you love, and who you love in order to meet somebody that vibes better with you? I think so. We're going to talk about your career. We're going to talk about money, home, family, and friends. Everything that we don't talk about here, we'll extend it further in the deep read on Vimeo. So Leo, how do you get to it? Same way as always. Open up the description box below. There's a link. Click into it. Come on over and we'll go further. But if we are going to leave it at this here, just at the general reading, my love, this is going to be a powerful month. Really find as much time as you can to spend time on your own, to process all of these changes, to give yourself as much space as you can physically arrange in order to allow this massive changeover that's happening spiritually for you. You're going to enjoy it. And you're going to feel it, that's for sure. So my love, I'll leave it at that. And as always, I'll leave you with all my love and a great, great, great big kiss from me to you. Mwah. Until next month, Leo, my beauty. Bye.